Hello and welcome to the class. Let me know boards and audio is clear.
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
Everybody, boards and audio is clear. Am I
yes,
audible?
sir.
Okay. So this is the part number two. Unit two. We are covering the last class. Unit two, milk-based fermented food. Milk-based fermented food. And the class number one is dedicated to starter culture and what are the process of fermentation in industrially. There are three processes, right? Number one, by using indigenous microbes, we can use indigenous microbes to ferment and ultimately reach to the final product. Yes or no? Yes or no? So first, the industrially fermentation process. Industrially, fermentation process can be done either of the method, but best method is using starter culture. So first method is using indigenous microbes. That means microbes present inside the food naturally. That's are called indigenous microbes. Yes or no? Okay. And the second method is the backsloping. Backsloping by using the pre-fermented product, by using a small amount of pre-fermented product and add into the next batch to create the fermentation. That is overall think about concept about the back sloping. And the number three process and the number three process is using starter culture. Using starter culture. So before the last class, we are discussing about what is starter culture, what are the microorganisms used in the starter culture, basic properties of the starter culture, and why starter culture using the third method is clearly benefited than the other two methods, right? So in this class, today's class totally discussed about dairy starter culture. Starter culture can be of various type. Starter culture we can use in the any type of fermentation, milk based fermentation, vegetable based fermentation, any kind of fermentation we can use starter culture. But we are this class we are discussing about the dairy starter culture because the unit 2 is totally based on milk based product, so we are using dairy starter culture. Correct. So in this unit, we are use dairy starter culture. To use dairy starter culture for the milk-based fermented food product formation. Just a minute. Okay. So dairy starter culture, some criteria to use organism as a dairy culture. What must possess criteria a dairy culture should have? Can you guess anyone? Or repeat. Good bacteria means bacteria that grow uh, the generation time. That means they grow faster or lesser and slower. Which bacteria you are going to use? Faster growing bacteria or slower growing bacteria in dairy culture? Why? हाँ, তো তোমার অনেক টাইম লেগে যাবে তো। বাট ইন্ডাস্ট্রি চাইছি তো, ইন্ডাস্ট্রি কি চায়? Fast, high yield. That means you need faster growing bacteria. And for faster growing bacteria, the lag phase should be minimal. What is lag phase? We are coming into that. The first criteria of a dairy starter culture should be number one, short lag phase. Short lag phase. What is lag phase? In the bacterial growth, there are four different stages. Correct. Lag, log, stationary, then death. So here about the lag phase shorter, because in the lag phase there is no increment in the cell number. See, the graph is not inclined. It is static, right? So in the lag phase, no cell number is increased. Just habituate with the medium. That time, bacteria just habituate with the medium. So this is the period of lag phase. If the lag phase is extended, so bacteria needs to double more amount of time. Yes or no? So the product will also be less. If lag phase will be extended, lag phase time is more, then product yield completely inverse relation. Yes or no? Those are in online. Please answer. If the lag phase is extended in the bacterial growth, then the product yield, the product composition, product concentration after the fermentation will be less or high.
Sir, less.
Less, but we need more product. We need more product industrially. So for that, we need lag phase should be minimal. Lag phase should be minimal, and if lag phase is minimal, totally inverse relation, that means yield ultimately become high. So the criteria should be, to use dairy starter culture, bacteria should be short lag phase. That means initial time should be less, not extended. Point is clear, everybody? Point is clear. Criteria number one. Criteria number two should be bacteriophage resistant. Bacteriophage resistant. This is must property or not? This property absolutely needed or not? Bacteriophage resistant bacterial culture. Answer. Why? মানে bacteriophage infected into the bacteria and make the bacteria to lies, to kill. Correct? So if bacteria will not survive, so how does the product end? Just the basic knowledge. So bacteriophage is that virus that kill the microbes, that kill the bacteria. Yes or no? So if bacteriophage is present inside the bacteria cell, so no bacteria will survive, and that time at the time of fermentation, all bacteria gone and no product is, no product produced. Correct? So bacteria should be bacteriophage resistant. Correct? Number three point. Point number three criteria. They should produce desired flavor, desired flavors and texture of the product. So we know that these two are the organoleptic property of the product of any fermented food product. Texture and the flavor is the organoleptic property. Organoleptic property high means product quality good, and it will be much more costlier. Economic value also be good. Correct? So organoleptic property means flavor and texture should be high inside the fermented food product, and that created by the starter culture, and those bacteria which create more organoleptic property, that will be benefited in our product. Yes or no? Number four, from that point number three, lack of flavor. Lack of flavor. Off flavor means undesired product formation that create the product to spoil or anything undesirable smell, odor creation. So any product that create undesirable products, undesirable creation of gases or odor, that should be eliminated. Those cultures we are not going to be used. Clear? না বাই প্রোডাক্ট তৈরি হোক বাই প্রোডাক্ট আমার লাগবে but those byproducts which increase our flavor, increase our texture, those byproducts we are needed. Do not need any kinds of undesired byproduct that ultimately going to spoil the products or ultimately going to hamper or texture, changes the structure, changes the smell. We are not bothered to use that kind of culture during fermentation. Clear? Everyone? Clear?
Yes,
The
sir.
4 points.
Yes,
The
sir.
4 points criteria to use starter culture for dairy fermentation, dairy microbiology, milk-based fermented food. These four important property or criteria should meet.
Sir, the last point, which is lack of
Uh,
flavor.
of
So, if
flavor,
the bacteria produces means the flavor which is undesired, then those
undesired.
bacteria should be eliminated.
Those bacteria should be eliminated from the starter culture because if they are grow, they produce undesired products, and undesired products actually change the fermented food.
Okay, sir.
Right? That's why we are not using those microbes that produce off flavor, off odor, etc. Done. Previous classes we are seeing variety types of lab means lactic acid bacteria bacteria there in nature, right? But we specifically use some of the lab, not all. Why? Because many of the lab can produce off flavor, but we are needed a desired lab that produce desired amount of flavor and texture. That's we are going to use from the total list of lab. A lab basically means lactic acid bacteria have 30 to 40 genera, but we cannot use all of the genera to make fermented food, right? So for that we need some strict criteria, and those criteria is written here. Basic part is clear. What are the dairy culture criteria should have? And next, we are start now the production process by using the dairy starter culture. We are going to produce variety of milk-based fermented food by using dairy starter culture. We can produce variety of milk-based food products. And today we are going to discuss the first milk-based product is yogurt. Yogurt manufacturing process. Yogurt production steps. First tell me, yogurt is solid or liquid? What is the consistency of the yogurt? You can
Same.
compare yogurt also curd. You can say thought about the curd, and curd and yogurt apparently same, but slight difference is there. But you can thought about the curd, and you get the answer about also yogurt. Okay. So first the
Sir,
consistency of the yogurt. Huh. Tell what is the consistency of the yogurt? Solid.
semi-solid.
Solid or semi-solid? Semi-solid. Semi-solid. Okay, thick. Semi-solid. Yogurt is coming from the we are using the milk as a raw material to make the yogurt. Yes or no? So the
Yes,
yogurt
sir.
actually produced from milk. So what is the consistency of the milk? Liquid.
Liquid.
Liquid. So after fermentation, the liquid milk converted into solid or semi-solid yogurt. How? And this is only done by fermentation, isn't it? Milk is a liquid form, but when it is fermented, it becomes semi-solid or solid form, and that we are called yogurt. And how does the liquid form convert into solid form? Any answer, any guess from anyone? Online, offline students, anyone? How does these changes occur from liquid to solid?
Sir, growth of bacteria.
That means fermentation. So why, Mane? Growth? How does the growth hamper these changes? Bacteria growth, correct. Try to answer. Everyone, try to answer. You can answer it in Bengali. No fear about that. You can answer in Bengali. You can answer in English. Okay, but try to answer. Try to conceptualize. Otherwise, the things are not getting into the head. Right? So try to answer, try to visualize what happens, why the card, semi-solid card is formed from the liquid milk just about the fermentation. And after the fermentation, it converted into the solid form. Why? And
So
the
is it
journalist
due to the
says,
coagulation of casein protein?
correct, correct, correct. So answer is coming more and more. Try. This is also try a good answer. That is uh, coagulation of the milk protein, and that is the casein protein. So why coagulation is happening? See, the main culprit to make liquid to semi-solid or solid conversion is the lactic acid. Is the lactic acid. Sir, why? How does lactic acid change the consistency? Because when the lactic acid production is high into the milk, the pH is automatically down, yes or no? Acid form, that means pH lower, pH become acidic, right? So in acidic pH, the protein present inside the milk, protein inside the milk. So milk has two important components. One is sugar and other is protein, and some other nutrient also be there, some calcium, magnesium, etc., etc. Minerals are there. But main two components are sugar and the protein. The milk sugar is called lactose. We know that it's a disaccharide, and the milk protein is casein. Milk protein is casein. So whenever the lactic acid is formed, how does the lactic acid is formed? The answer is the growth of microbes. The growth of microbes. In the first class, we are discussed that the fermentation can make acid, the fermentation can make lactic acid, can ferment the fermentation can make alcohol also. So the acid formation, the lactic acid formation ultimately came from the growth of microbes. So whenever the microbes are growth, lactic acid is formed, pH become down, more acidic, and the protein become coagulated. Why coagulated? Because protein are structurally stable at particular pH. If you have the concept, just basic concept of amino acid protein in class 11, 12, you know that particular protein is stabilized in particular pH, And we are saying about the Zwitterian structure. You know Zwitterian structure. At a particular pH, in the neutral pH, it forms Zwitterian structure. So protein has optimum pH to stabilize, right? And now, after the lactic acid formation, the pH become down, and the down that acidic pH, the protein will be stabilized now. Protein will be stabilized, or it will be hampered. The unstabilized occur. No, stabilized before stabilized ছিল. That means at the pH, milk natural pH 7.5 to 8, slight acidic, slight alkaline, and now it convert into acidic. So pH change, protein will not stabilize now. Protein is stabilized that pH where the alkalinity is there, but now it become acidic. So the protein structure will be changed. Protein structure will be got modified, and that called coagulation of protein. Coagulation of protein. The exact term is the acidic pH make the protein coagulation. Coagulation. Coagulation means simple meaning clumping. Simple meaning clumping. So all proteins now coagulate each other and make the structure solid. Make the structure semi-solid. So how does the consistency change? The main culprit, who is the main culprit? The main culprit is the lactic acid. Lactic acid create all types of changes. That means pH down, and that acidic pH proteins, the milk proteins is coagulated and produce solid form, solid consistency. That is the curd. That is the yogurt. The knowledge is clear. With that knowledge, we are now going to start the production steps, manufacturing steps. So how does just initial knowledge, basic knowledge, how does the yogurt is formed, the thick consistency is formed, that is clear? Everyone clear?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
So with that, we are start now the production steps or manufacturing steps. Step 1, standardization and homogenization. Standardization standardization and homogenization. To make a good yogurt, we should industrial. We are making in industry, not in the home. So make in a standard form. So standard should be maintained. Otherwise, there are some regulatory laws are also present in India and every country. That's why the standard should be maintained. So for the standard, the milk that is used, the raw milk should be standardized first, right? So for the standardization, for making yogurt, we can use we need skim milk or reduced fat milk, or we can use whole milk also. So the raw materials milk can be of different type based on the fat composition. Skim milk means minimal amount of fat is there. Skim milk fat composition is very less. Reduced fat, not zero, it's a certain amount, but from the whole milk it is less. In the whole milk, the fat percentage is about 3.4 to 3.5%. Okay. Reduced fat milk is marketed as tone milk. Tone, single tone, double tone, both can be available. Tone means reduce the fat, fat reduction. So reduced fat contain 1.5 to 2.0, and the skim milk ideally no amount of or 0 to 0.5% of fat. So better uh, to make yogurt, we are using skim milk or reduced fat milk. But we can also use whole milk. Also we can use, but the better texture will be produced from skim milk or reduced fat milk. Correct. That's not mean whole milk cannot produce yogurt. Whole milk also can produce yogurt, but the better formation will be from the skim milk or reduced fat milk. Correct. And the point number two for the standardization, the milk should be free from antibiotics. The milk that is collected should be free from antibiotics. Why? Antibiotics in the CC class, core paper class. We have discussed lot of about antibiotics and antibody. We are clearly distinguished about the antibiotics and antibody. Last day class, core paper class. So now tell me why antibiotics is free, should be free in the milk. What happens if antibiotics is there? Trace amount of antibiotics is there in the milk.
Antibiotics kills the bacteria.
Uh, that means no fermentation. That
Yes,
means
sir.
no fermentation. So if milk contain antibiotics, what is the antibiotic feature? What is the function of antibiotics? It kills the microbes. That compound that kill the microbes are called antibiotics. So antibiotics if present in the milk, it can kill the microbes. So the microbes we are going to use during the fermentation, that microbes are being killed by the antibiotic that present inside the raw materials. Yes or no? So no fermentation. So the milk that is collected during the manufacturing process should be free. Free from what? Free from antibiotics. Point number three, for make good quality yogurt, we need to increase the milk solid up to 15%. Up to 15%. In a normal milk, the milk solid in the normal milk, 10 to 12%. But the better quality yogurt, we should need 15%. So how will you increase? What is the process behind to increase the milk solid? The solid already আছে মিল্ক সলিড একটা মিল্কের মধ্যে সলিড পোর্শন থাকে আর লিকুইড পোর্শন থাকে তো সলিড পোর্শন নর্মাল মিল্ক কন্টেন 10 to 12%, but the better yogurt formation is 15%. So how will increase this amount? 15%. Evaporate the water. Easy. Is as simple as that. Evaporate the water or add some more milk solid externally. Externally add more milk solid. Number one scenario it can be. Or second, evaporate the water. If water is evaporated, solid milk solid will be increased and the water will be less. And the water in evaporation, the basic method is heating. Yes or no? So how can we increase the solid milk solid portion? That is the 15% amount. We can use external addition of milk solids or we can the liquid. By that way, we can reach 15% of the milk solid, and that will be the standardized portion to make the yogurt better yogurt making process. Clear, everyone? After that, we can add, after this process, standardization process, we can add permitted color. Obviously, permitted color, not industrial color. Permitted color. No, uh, just a color দ্বারা a caramel color, yellow color, etc. Permitted color, flavor, and gums also. Some example of permitted color: caramel, sunset yellow. Appearance will be good after using color. We can add flavor because nowadays in the supermarket we are now getting flavorful yogurt, strawberry yogurt, mango yogurt, apricot yogurt, blueberry yogurt. Different variety of flavors are come. So what does the flavor is produced? We are using raw materials of the fruits. In the mango card, we are using mango. Do you think mango is there? No, but mango flavor is there. Mango flavor is there. So mango flavor or any kinds of fruit flavor actually created by some chemical molecules. If you add these chemical molecules, the product will become that flavor. Correct. So the flavor we can use gamma undecalactone. Undecalactone. It is in the notes, total chart, what type of flavor we can use. Just remember one or two. Gamma undecalactone for apricot flavor. It gives apricot flavor. Another interesting flavor, ethyl 3-methyl 3-phenyl glycidate. We can use externally and it gives strawberry flavor. So no pure pulp of strawberry is present in the any kind of yogurt. Just we are using the chemical flavor, chemical agents, permitted agent. Yes, these are some permitted agents we can use. So that permitted flavor we are going to add to make flavor yogurt. Other than that, we can also use gum. We can use agar. Yes, that agar which are using for the solid media purpose, that agar, because agar is actually coming from that view that agar can solidify the agent and it is used in the cooking purpose. The Fanny Hayes, who is the actually mentor. So agar, cornstarch, agar, cornstarch, we can also add during the standardization process. So GAMS means agar cornstarch create more dense structure, more compact structure, more solidifying structure, right? So less water. The ultimate product after the product formation it becomes thick because you add agar cornstarch thickening agent or gum. Clear? So standardization done. Next, homogenization. Step number one is standardization and homogenization. Standardization complete. Homogenization means every packet of milk, any kind of any company, the milk on the above written pasteurized and homogenized. We know the meaning of pasteurized because it is pasteurization we are using to milk to sterilize. But what about the homogenization? That was also written on the packet. What is homogenization? Try to answer. What is homogenization?
এই যে হোমক শব্দের প্রয়োগ দেওয়া যায় ওনার সংস্কৃতে সেম থাকবে
Hmm.
প্রত্যেকটা মানে দুধের ওনাদের যেন কোয়ালিটি কিছু সেম
Ekdom correct. Every drop of the milk contains equal quantity of nutrients. Equal quantity of nutrients, equal amount of carbohydrate, fat, lipids, etc. etc. Right? So that is called homogenization, and for that we are need good mixing. Otherwise, the homogenization process absent. So after standardization, we are now well mixed. Well mixed, that create homogenization. Step number one of yogurt manufacture complete. If any question you can ask. Step one done.
আমার এমনি অনার্স
Hmm.
স্যার আপনি কালার কি সিএল আর এর প্রবলেম নেই
না প্রবলেম না, এটা এখন তোমার আমেরিকান ইংলিশে COLOR লেখা হচ্ছে আর ব্রিটিশে COLOUR, তুমি এনিথিং ইউ ক্যান ইউজ. স্টেপ ওয়ান ক্লিয়ার?
স্টেপ ওয়ানটা একটু এক্সপ্লেন করবেন?
কোনটা?
স্টেপ ওয়ানটা একটু এক্সপ্লেন করবেন?
আর কোন স্ট্যান্ডার্ডাইজেশন না হোমোজেনাইজেশন?
হোমোজেনাইজেশন.
Homogenization means well mixing. Homogenization means every drop of the milk contain equal amount of protein, fat and carbohydrate. And for that we need proper mixing. তুমি যদি ভালো করে না মিক্স করো সব কন্টেন্ট গুলো, তাহলে তো একটা জায়গায় ক্লাম্প হয়ে থাকবে সবকিছু. ইয়েস অর নো?
ইয়েস স্যার.
তো আমরা যদি ভালো করে মিক্সিং করি then it will become homogenized milk. So
ইয়েস স্যার.
mixing is needed after standardization process. After tick all the standardization step, then we need, after adding flavor, gum, etc., whatever you are going to add, after addition everything you need a proper mixing, right? So that create homogenization. Step 2. Heat treatment. Step number 2. Heat treatment. Milk should be pasteurized. At above, okay, in the next point, milk generally pasteurized above pasteurization temperature. Above pasteurization temperature. That is 80 to 85 degrees centigrade temperature we are now using to treatment heat, to treatment the yogurt, milk. To treatment the milk 80 to 85 degrees centigrade for 30 minutes. We are pasteurizing the milk, but the temperature we are now going to use is above the pasteurization temperature. Normal pasteurization temperature No, normal is lower.
72.
72 degree. Normal pasteurization temperature 72 degrees centigrade, but here we are using 80 to 85 degrees centigrade above the pasteurization. And that will be the favorite question of the question setter. Why? You are in the Calcutta University. So tricky question can come and every year come. Right? So why pasteurization temperature not used to make yogurt? Why above the pasteurization temperature we are now used to make good quality of yogurt? Any guess? Any point of view? It will be a good question. Why above pasteurization temperature? Like the question. Why above pasteurization temperature are used during yogurt making?
স্যার আমরা সাধারণত পাস্তুরাইজ করে থাকি কোনো মাইক্রোবস এর থেকে সেই ফুডটাকে বাঁচানোর জন্য, কিন্তু যদি পাস্তুরাইজ টেম্পারেচার থেকে একটু উপরে যায় তাহলে সে মানে এখানে তো মাইক্রোবস গুলো দরকার ইয়োগার্ট তৈরির জন্য, সেরকম কি কিছু?
মাইক্রোব দরকার তো ঠিক আছে, কিন্তু পাস্তুরাইজেশনও তো দরকার। পাস্তুরাইজেশন না করলে তোমার স্পয়েলেজ হয়ে যাবে তো ফার্মেন্টেশন টাইমে।
72 ডিগ্রি থেকে এমন কিছু হচ্ছে না যেটা জন্য আর দরকার পড়ছে না। থার্মোপ্লানিস ম্যানিপুলেশন
হ্যাঁ।
পিওরলি মিন্স রিলেটেড।
কারেক্ট, এমন কিছু হচ্ছে না। দ্য স্টেপ ইজ ল্যাকিং। 72 degree centigrade pasteurization temperature lacking something, missing something. That temperature missing something. Because see, 72 degree centigrade temperature for 30 minutes can kill, we do not deny, it can kill microbes. Which microbes? That microbes cause spoilage of the food. That microbes cause disease. Because many microbes cause human disease, foodborne microbes, and milk also contains some foodborne microbes. So should before utilization of the raw materials should need pasteurization. So pasteurization temperature 72 degree can kill spoilage causing microbes, can kill disease causing microbes, but some of the microbes still there which are heat resistant at 72, but cannot kill heat resistant microbes as well as spore. Spore is the more resistant structure of the cell, so spores not going to kill up at 72. So two things are missing in pasteurized temperature. The two things are, number one, heat resistant microbes are not going to kill after the temperature and treatment, pasteurized temperature treatment, and the spores also. But we need to kill that microbes and spores before yogurt making, because we need only those microbial strain in the starter culture that will grow, and other all microbes should be minimal. Yes or no? But after pasteurization, 72 degrees centigrade, it is not enough to kill all microbes, not minimalize the microbes. Many microbes still survive, and that microbes are heat resistant and the spore. Correct? But if we use more than above temperature, that means slightly increase 10 degree. That will be lethal for those microbes which are heat resistant to the 72. Yes or no? That will lethal for those microbes which survive at 72 but now kill at the 82. So just use 10 degree more. That not going to hamper anything. Even better for the future product formation. Clear? So why we are using above 80 to 85 degrees centigrade temperature? First reason, to kill the heat resistant microbes. Number one reason, heat resistant microbes, and they are called thermodiuric microbes. What is the term? Those are surviving the 72-degree pasteurized temperature. Surviving microbes are termed as thermodiuric. Thermodiuric. So to kill the heat resistant microbes is the first reason why we are use above temperature. Number two, killing the pathogens and spoilage microbes, because at high temperature the pathogens and spoilage causing microbes kill more efficiently. 72 degree versus 82 degree. Killing of the lethality will be much higher at 82. That's why the killing effectiveness also high. Second point. And the third point, the whey protein, which is albumin. Whey protein actually albumin, lactalbumin. Better to say lactalbumin. This whey protein become denatured, 100% denatured at that temperature. At 82 to 85 degrees centigrade temperature, the proteins, casein, and another protein is albumin, lactalbumin. Casein is there. Main protein is casein, and the other protein is lactalbumin. This lactalbumin become denatured. What does denatured term mean? Denatured means just open the structure. It's not degraded into pieces. That's called degradation. Two words are clearly different: degradation and denaturation. Degradation means degrade into small pieces. That's called degradation. Cut into small piece. That's called degradation or cutting. Right? But the denaturation, here we use the term denaturation. Denaturation means the compact structure now become open. If the structure become open, the gel formation, the card formation or the yogurt formation much more thicker. Yes or no? What do you think? If the structure is open, the structure create more gel. Clear? Clear my point? So that temperature above the pasteurized temperature, whey protein become denatured, and that denatured protein good to form gel. Good to form gel consistency, and we need the gel consistency more. Clear or not? That 3 points are important.
Please explain the third point again.
Third point, whey protein become denatured. Denatured means just open the structure. If the structure of protein structure become open, it will move more from gel. Why? Because it absorb more water and form the gel. The compact structure, less water will be incorporated. Yes or no? The structure is compact, so no water is now incorporated. Now, after the 82 degree, 85 degree centigrade temperature, the structure become open, and the protein can absorb water and make gel. So overall, what we need in the cut formation or yogurt formation, what do we need? Is a solid conversion, is a gel conversion. So it will much better to form gel after the temperature we are using 80 to 85.
Okay, sir.
Clear? That's why we are using 80 to 85, not pasteurized temperature, and it is the potential question. Important question. Heat treatment, step 2 done. Step 2 done. Step 3. Cooling. After heat treatment, minimize the spoilage causing organism, disease causing organism. Now we need to cool. Cooling between 40 to 43 degrees centigrade. Cooling between 40 to 43 degrees centigrade. Temperature we are using 82. From the 82 degree, we are now just cool the material into 40 to 43 degree. That means normal room temperature in the summertime. Step 4. Important step, adding yogurt starter culture.
এই তৈরি করা ইউগারকে
এই তৈরি করবে, adding yogurt starter culture. Why step number 4? After cooling, before not before, not after the temperature, pasteurization temperature.
আপনি নরমাল টেম্পারেচারে জিনিসটা থিতিয়ে যাবে লাইক
Hi, can start. That means starter culture contains microbes, and the microbes will be killed at high temperature. That temperature, pasteurized temperature. That's why we are used after the cooling. After the cooling process, we are now going to use the addition of particular strain starter culture. Adding yoga starter culture, two mixture culture, two bacteria are used to make the yogurt. Starter culture contain two bacteria. Mixture of two bacteria. Number 1, Streptococcus thermophilus. And the second bacteria, Lactobacillus bulgaricus. Separately underlined. Two specific bacteria we are taken from the lab. One is for yogurt manufacture. One is Streptococcus thermophilus, and the second is Lactobacillus bulgaricus. And this starter culture organism, these two organisms are at 1:1 ratio. The ratio is also important. From here, question can be framed. Question: why two strains are used? While single or individual can make milk into curd. Individually can make curd. That means Streptococcus thermophilus add into the milk going to be curd. The milk convert into the curd. Clear? Individually. Individually bacteria, these two bacteria can make yogurt. Streptococcus thermophilus, individually you can add into the milk and it convert into the curd. Likewise, Lactobacillus bulgaricus, add into the milk, that also convert into the curd. But still, we are using mixture of two strain in 1:1 ratio. Why? Any point of view, any guess?
Sir, because either one may not be heat resistant because we are heating above pasteurization temperature. So if one of the two is not heat resistant, then it
We
will
are
be
heating,
failing.
but after that we are cooling also, the step 3. After cooling step, we are add starter culture, not during the heat treatment process. See, see the steps
দুটো মিক্স করার ফলে কি নিউট্রিশনাল ভ্যালু বৃদ্ধি যাচ্ছে?
on the line. কাছাকাছি. The two strains are complementary each other.
Okay.
Two strains are complementary each other and make good quality of yogurt. Individually, the yogurt is formed, but the quality is not that we are want. So two strains when are used combinedly, the two strains complement each other in their work, in their function, and the yogurt after the product, yogurt is superior quality. Correct. So why two strains are we are used to make curd, to make yogurt better, to make yogurt, because two strains are complementary each other. And how does it complement it? Two strains are complementary each other. How does it complement it? The bulgaricus, that means lactobacillus. Sorry. First, streptococcus, is thermophilus. Initially grow into the milk. Initially grow into the milk and make lower pH. Make lower pH. And that pH, that lower pH trigger the growth of bulgaricus. And when the bulgaricus grow, lactobacillus bulgaricus grow, L bulgaricus has protease activity, contain protease activity. Protease activity. Protease activity means it can digest or it can cleave into open structure protein. We clearly inform if the protein is open, the structure, the appearance, the texture become more gel, more thick. Yes or no? So Streptococcus thermophilus can grow, but it lacks the protease activity. So the consistency is more watery, not so much tight or solid. Correct? If you use the Lactobacillus bulgaricus grow at lower pH, so we need to use some acid or something that make the pH lower. So otherwise, Lactobacillus bulgaricus cannot grow well at normal milk. So how does do two strains are complement each other? First, Streptococcus grow because Streptococcus do not need any modulation of the environment. It can grow easily in the raw milk. Okay? And produce lactic acid. First, high quantity of lactic acid produced by the Streptococcus thermophilus and make the pH lower. Environment suitable for growth of second strain, Lactobacillus bulgaricus. Lactobacillus now use the acidic medium acidic environment and start to grow fast. And when lactobacillus grow fast, it contains the protease activity. That means it secretes some enzyme that cleave the protein and make the structure, make the appearance or texture become more solid, more gel. That's why we are using two strains. It's a protein, another protein question. Why we are using two strains, not individual? Because individuals can make curd, but not the quality that we want. We are want more solid, more textureful quality. Concept is clear. Concept is
Yes, sir.
clear. কেউ বলবে না এরকম ভাবে এত ডিটেলসে গিয়ে জাস্ট ওভারঅল আমিও যেতে পারতাম ওভারঅল স্টেপ বলে যেতে পারতাম বাট ইন সিইউ মানে কি বলবো খুঁটিয়ে কোশ্চেন করবে তোমাকে ভেতর থেকে ট্রিক্স কোশ্চেন করবে তুমি স্টেপ পড়ে যাও তুমি আনসার করতেই পারবে না তোমাকে যদি আমি কোশ্চেনটা দিই if you do not know the proper answer you can't answer and roughly you can answer but not properly and that's why I'm saying that no books for this set paper can complete all things. It needs several books. But তুমি তো পারবে না কভার করতে তোমাকে যদি আমি 10টা বইয়ের নাম বলে দিই তুমি কি পারবে কভার করতে পারবে না কভার করতে and it's a semester system 6 months not actually the 6 months is actually 4 months because 2 months in the vacation পূজা ভ্যাকেশন ডিসেম্বর ক্রিসমাস ভ্যাকেশন এক্সেট্রা সব মিলিয়ে তোমার 2 মাস এমনি কেটে যাবে কলেজে ঠিক আছে তো থাকবে বাকি 4 মান্থ 4 মান্থে তোমাকে যদি বলি দুটো বই পড়ে দেখা তুমি পারবেই না একটা বই কভার করতে পারবে না তুমি লাস্টে বলবে যে স্যার আপনার নোটসটাই পড়ে গেছিলাম বাট আমি কখনোই রেকমেন্ড করবো না তুমি আমার নোটস পড়ে যাও পরীক্ষা দিয়ে যাও একদম রেকমেন্ড করবো না আমি বলবো তুমি বই পড়ো আমি বই বলে নামও বলে দিয়েছি যারা এই ক্লাসে জয়েন করেছো তারা একবার জিজ্ঞেস করে নেবে যে হুইচ বুকস আই রেকমেন্ড ফর দিস সেক পেপার টু বুকস আই রেকমেন্ড বাট দিস টু বুকস আর নট এনাফ not completed not give complete information you can also check read Frazier yogurt manufacturing এত কিছু লেখাই নেই পাবে না তুমি তোমাকে 10টা বই ঘাটতে হবে তবে কি তুমি পাবে এবার তোমার পক্ষে তো পসিবল না and that's where we come in that way we are just using all the things together into make a notes তো আমি আগেও বলেছি আগের ক্লাসেও বলেছি যে আমার নোটস কিন্তু আমি এটা নয় যে আমি নিজে হাতে নিজে মানে কোথাও থেকে আমি লিখে তোমাকে সাপ্লাই করছি আমি বই থেকেই সাপ্লাই করছি আমি বই পড়ি আমার কাছে আর কোনো অপশন নেই নো আদার অপশন আই নিড বুক ফর দ্য ইনফরমেশন বাট তোমার কাছে সেটা ল্যাক কেন তুমি তোমার কাছে রোবাস তো তোমার কাছে এত বই পড়ার প্রিপারেশনই থাকবে না তাই তো দ্যাটস অল ওকে leave it step number 4 is it clear to all why we are using two strains clear step number 5 next step step number 5 is incubation that means allow to ferment incubation at 40 to 45 degrees centigrade for 4 to 6 hours. So after addition of two strains, starter culture, we are now allowed to ferment at proper temperature and proper time. The temperature is between 40 to 45 degrees centigrade and it is for 4 to 6 hours or we can also maintain not the time or also we can maintain the pH or until the pH reach 4.4 to 4.6. If you allow more time, that means 8 to 10 hours, the pH become more low, but the more sourness, not good for the taste. We need optimal sourness, optimal acidity. Yes or no? That's why a limited fermentation should be done. Otherwise, over fermentation lead more acid, and that actually create the bad taste, not palatable. Then the incubation temperature also important, and from that another important question can form. This incubation temperature important for yogurt quality. Justify. Why? Why the incubation temperature is so much important? And it actually important for the yogurt quality. Yogurt quality means the taste. Actually, it important for the taste. Ha, ha. Taste. That means acidity is ultimately the factor. Why? Because if you shift the incubation temperature, shift incubation temperature to 46 degree, just above 1 or 2 degree, 46 to 48, the yogurt will form more acidic. More acidic. So if you want to produce more acidic yogurt at that time frame, 4 to 6 hours, we need to shift the incubation temperature. Just use 1 or 2 degree higher. And how did it changes the acid production? See, there are also the role of two starter culture microbes. L. bulgaricus grow above 42 degrees centigrade. That means it can grow at 46, 48 degree usually, and better show growth. And if L. bulgaricus is dominant into the yogurt, we are using 1:1 mixture. That means equal quantity. But after incubation, the quantity can be changed, because if the incubation temperature is more, 42 degree above, that means 46, 48, the L. bulgaricus is predominant, start to grow better than streptococcus. So grow better at above 42, that means higher temperature. And if L. bulgaricus grow, the lactic acid more produced, because it has the capacity to produce more lactic acid. So more lactic acid means more acidic yogurt. The pH will be, we are here, the pH written 4.4 to 4.6. Now if we shift the temperature to 46, 48, you can see the pH value also drop from 3.8 to 4. That means high acidic, more acidic yogurt will form. But if we use that temperature, 40 degrees centigrade temperature, that time streptococcus will be dominated. and L. bulgaricus is less dominated. So less 42 degrees centigrade grow better second strain, which is S. thermophilus. And if S. thermophilus is grow, lactic acid is less produced because it has less capacity to produce lactic acid. And that pH we can reach 4.4 into to 4.6. So incubation pattern, incubation temperature also change the yogurt quality in the taste. Yes or no? The statement is correct or false? Statement is correct. Because if we shifted the temperature from 1 to 2 degree more higher, then L. bulgaricus start to grow predominantly, start to grow better than thermophilus, Streptococcus thermophilus. And if L. bulgaricus predominantly grow, they produce more and more lactic acid, and that makes the pH lower and more acidic yogurt is produced. Clear? But we at less temperature, that means less 42 degrees centigrade temperature, the yogurt is less acidic. So incubation temperature can hamper or can changes yogurt quality. That statement can be a good question. Clear? Any question? All clear? So after incubation for 4 to 6 hours, the yogurt is ready. Yogurt is ready. Now cool. Step number 6. Cool at 0 to 4 degrees centigrade temperature. And that make much more thick oil consistency of yogurt after cooling. Step number 6. So yogurt production, manufacturing, industry level complete. Total 6 steps are needed. Standardization, then heat treatment, cooling. This cooling is important, otherwise starter culture will be destroyed. After cooling to the room temperature, that means 40 to 42 degrees centigrade, now we are using starter culture, and 2 strains we are using, not single individual strain. 2 strains in optimal 1:1 ratio we are using to allow to ferment. Now incubation, then after fermentation, yogurt is ready and ready to dispense, ready to use. Just cool it. Manufacturing process clear. Online students.
Yes.
Yes, sir, clear.
Next topic, yogurt texture and flavor. Yogurt texture and flavor. The main texture flavor come from the main component, which is texture flavor come from which component? Which component? Which product? First, before industrial process, we are discussing about that the main culprit that convert milk into yogurt, lactic acid. So
Lactic acid.
that lactic acid is the main textural component, main flavoring component. So most dominant flavor is sourness due to lactic acid. Other than lactic acid, Some concentration of organic acid, other organic acid can also be found in the yogurt. Other organic acid like formic acid, acetic acid, but it is not dominant. The dominant is lactic acid, but some quantity we are found in the yogurt, formic acid and acetic acid also. Another significant flavoring compound found in yogurt acetaldehyde. Acetaldehyde that make uh, the yogurt more flavored, more flavorful. This acetaldehyde production. So main component, dominant component lactic acid. Other component acid also can be formed, as well as acetaldehyde also produced in the yogurt that make the yogurt most or more flavorful. Acetaldehyde can be formed two-way. Acetaldehyde can be formed into the yogurt in two-way. First, glucose to pyruvate by means of glycolysis, and this pyruvate can convert into acetaldehyde. Acetaldehyde. This pyruvate can convert into acetaldehyde. And the second way to come to production of acetaldehyde from the amino acid threonine. Threonine is the amino acid, and this threonine can also form acetaldehyde enzymatically. Enzymatically, single step reaction. So we have discovered that in the yogurt, the dominant component is the lactic acid. Other small quantity of other organic acids also can be found, but other than lactic acid, most another significant flavorful agent is the acetaldehyde formation. And how does the acetaldehyde can be formed? It can be formed in two ways: from the glucose pyruvate to acetaldehyde, and the second way from the amino acid threonine to acetaldehyde. Yogurt benefit. Yogurt contain more vitamins. Number two, contain probiotics. Contain probiotics, probiotic bacteria rather. Probiotics is a component, a food product. Probiotic bacteria that help in many ways, like this probiotic bacteria can be anti-cholesterolemic. Anti-cholesterolemic. Anti-cholesterolemic means it reduces the cholesterol concentration in the blood. Correct? This probiotic bacteria. Number 2, promote gastrointestinal health, GI health, better digestion, improve the digestion process. Correct? Number 3, reduce the chance of enteric infection. This probiotic bacteria that yogurt contains reduce the chance of enteric infection. And number 4, another important benefit to use yogurt that actually created by the probiotic organism inside the yogurt is yogurt can be consumed by lactose intolerance patient also. Lactose intolerant patient also. It can be a good question, same like that. Yogurt can be consumed by lactose intolerant patient. Justify. Lactose intolerance mean
যারা ল্যাকটোজ দ্বারা প্রোডাক্টে শুদ্ধ করতে পারে না।
that means milk containing product they avoid because they do not have lactase enzyme inside the small intestine, or lactase enzyme the proper concentration is absent. That's why the problem is that lactose enter into the colon. Colon means large intestine part, and colon contain highly bacteria rich area. This bacteria rich area makes the lactose to produce acid and gas, ultimately create after consuming milk. Lactose intolerant patient symptom is that acidity, symptom is that gas formation. That's why they avoid the milk, raw milk containing product, but they can easily consume yogurt. Why? Because the yogurt contains probiotic bacteria. These two probiotic bacteria, Vulgaricus and Thermophilus, they are using the sugar lactose. The main problem is the lactose. So they can utilize the sugar, and by utilizing the sugar, the lactose could not enter into the colon, and no acid or gas formation. So yogurt can be intaken by lactose intolerant patient. Clear or not? Why yogurt consumed by the lactose intolerant patient? Just see the cartoonic depiction. Our bowel system, total gut system, digestion system contains stomach. Digestion start from stomach, then small intestine, and then colon. Correct? In the case of lactose intolerant patient, we are talking about lactose intolerant patient. The lactose that is consumed could not digest it into the stomach, could not digest it into the small intestine also, because small intestine lack the enzyme lactase. These lactose intolerant patient lack enzyme lactase, which normal people have in their gut, in their small intestine. And this lactase break down the lactose, it's a disaccharide, break down the lactose into glucose galactose, and glucose galactose आराम से consume हो जाए, माने absorb हो, right? So, but in case of lactose intolerant patient, the lactose could not absorb, could not break down, and it enter into the colon, directly enter into the colon, right? And the colon contain many bacteria. Colon is the bacterial hub. You can say it's a colon is a fermentation vessel. So many types of bacteria contained in a colon, a healthy gut system of a colon. So colon bacteria digest the lactose into, convert the lactose into acid and gas. So ultimately result in lactose intolerant patient, when they consume lactose, they start to symptomize that acidity, gas formation, etc. Clear? That is the cartoon. And the cartoon for the yogurt. Why yogurt they can consume easily? Let's see. Lactose plus probiotics. Yes or no? Yogurt too. Yogurt contain lactose, small quantity of lactose, as well as probiotics, that means bacteria also. Enter into the stomach and small intestine. They do not have any lactase, but still they have the probiotics. They have the probiotics, and probiotics cleave the lactose. So lactose inside the small intestine, before it cannot be consumed, but now this lactose is break down into glucose galactose and it is absorbed, small intestine. So could not pass into the colon. Colon is empty, no lactose. No lactose means no acid, no gas, so no symptom. But other milk product can be problematic. Can be problematic because acid gas formation. Clear? So schematically you can give the answer why yogurt can be consumed by the lactose intolerant patient. Any question from the class, today's topic, you can ask. Otherwise, class is end. The topic is end here. Yogurt manufacturing is done. Next class is about cheese manufacturing process.